More now on our top story, how GTHA mayors and chairs are responding to the refugee crisis in the region. For more on this, we are joined live by Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown. Thank you so much for joining us, Mayor. So we know that the federal government has stepped up. They've pitched in $212 million in new federal funding to pay for interim housing. About half of that is coming to Toronto. Tell me a little bit about more what's coming to your region, and are the resources that you're receiving sufficient?
So we've asked that question to the Prime Minister's office. At this point, we're not aware of any funding that's coming to Peel Region. We're hopeful there's some funding. This is a crisis. We had mayors and chairs emergency meeting on this. I can tell you in Peel Region, right now we are seeing an overflow cost of $720,000 a month, that funds we don't have. For the first time in Peel Region history, we have to turn people away from shelters. We've never had to do that before. We've seen an increase of 600 individuals. 34% of our shelters in Peel Region, 34% of those in the shelters are refugees. And what shocked me is the number of children entering shelters is up 82%. And 57% of the refugees are youth. And so, Canada is the most welcoming country in the world. And I don't want to change that. I want us to be able to help people that are fleeing adversity. But I'm embarrassed that we're not able to offer proper assistance. The fact that people are left on the streets is unacceptable. And we have Band-Aid solutions being offered. We need more tangible help, and it's why we had this emergency meeting, because we're seeing this across the GTA.
And what's going to happen if you don't receive this funding immediately? What can happen? What are your immediate concerns?
Well, first of all, these refugees are the most vulnerable. They have fled persecution. And if we have to turn refugees away, they're left on the streets, and that's what's happening right now. Like I said, for the first time in Peel Region history, we have people being turned away from the shelter. So it's horrifying, and it's why we have a plea for help to the federal government to make sure that we can provide proper supports.
Are you surprised about how this is all played out, given the fact that, Canada, very welcoming country, especially when it comes to asylum seekers and refugees? However, this has been anything but a soft landing for these individuals who have arrived in the country recently. Are you surprised that we just didn't have the infrastructure and the resources available for when they land, that they can be taken care of?
Well, this hasn't happened before in terms of modern Canada. We've always had the proper supports, and so this is a failure of our immigration system. These refugees need to have proper settlement funding supports, and we have to do better. And I would say a large number of these refugees, what we're seeing, are from Africa, and we have to do better. In fact, frankly, there's a lot of double standards in terms of how we. I know it's a frankly blunt thing to say, but there's a lot of double standards in terms of how we care for refugees, and I expect better. I've seen harrowing videos and photos from those who are in encampments on streets, and so I'm hopeful that the news attention to this, the coverage, is going to cause the federal government to offer some serious help, not a press release.
Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown, we always appreciate your time. Thank you.
My pleasure.